Tony, I said I'd take care of it when I get off the phone. I got a live show to do. Please.
Your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. Your show now, press 1. To hear important
The Female
instructions,
Solution
press 2.
Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful
show now,
Solutions
press
with Dr.
1.
Debbie
To
Green.
hear important
And
instructions.
Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday,
We are sorry,
Wisdom
but we're
with Mama D.
experiencing a problem
Join
with our
us
system.
Sundays, 7
Please
p.m.
try
to
your
9
call
p.m.
again
Central
later,
Time for
or
Soul
report a
Purpose
problem
Healing with
through the
Beata.
Blog Talk Radio
Call in and comment
webpage.
515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.
Grand Rising and happy Saturday. Thank you for joining
All right,
us.
so it plugs it in. Perfect. We'll start
We
the
are
call.
sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later, or report a problem
Now, my
through the
$2,000
Blog Talk Radio
scan tool
webpage.
said it was start your show now. Press 1. This little important instructions.
Okay,
Press
everything
2. Wow,
under the
incredible.
sun.
Same reading.
I'm pushing one,
Same reading.
and it's giving me craziness. I apologize for this, but
So I've been going to the same mechanic for a while now, and the last time I took the car in, my husband swore he was ripping me off. Well, okay, so Fix is telling me
We
I
are sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system. Please try your call again later, or report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio webpage.
Global
To
Radio
start your show
TV
now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
If it ain't one thing, it's another.
To start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody
We are
Susan.
sorry, but we're
Wednesdays,
experiencing a problem
Repairing
with our
Broken
system.
Families with
Please
Naima
try your
Latif
call
and
again
co-host
later,
Kareem Hamid.
or report a problem
Thursdays,
through the
Soulful
Blog Talk
Solutions
Radio
with Dr.
webpage.
Debbie Green.
To start your
And
show
Fridays,
now, press 1.
Health and
To
Wellbeing
hear
with
important
Beata.
instructions, press 2.
Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325.
Dial in the Blog Talk, Naima.
Press 1 to
Not
speak.
working.
Right, they're having problems with the system.
Oh,
That's right, yeah.
Grand Rising and happy Saturday afternoon to you too. Thank you so much for joining us. We apologize for the delays, but it's Saturday and everybody is out and about and it's just chaos and confusion everywhere. What can I say? That's what happens when you do the cheat retreat, right?
Yes.
Well, y'all, it was so popular, it was so hot, and it was so intense. Parts 1, 2, and 3, you got to go back and see them again because it is unlike anything we have ever experienced on Monday Morning Mindful. Now, this is not Monday Morning Mindful. This is the cheat retreat, and Naima is going to let us know what we're in store for today. Can you hear me, Naima?
Yes, I'm working with this slight technical difficulty with our Blog Talk channel because we want to make
I'm gonna try and sign in on another computer, so you can just go ahead and I'll handle this. Uh, and for those who are watching, I am sure that you've had enough of the opening. I'm trying to find a promo to run while well, let them know what's going on here. Well, we're always an advocate of people who are helping those in the community. So I'm just going to show a little footage here because there's something really special coming up, and I want you all to know about it. So let me share that until we can get this blog talk issue up. So I'm going to pull up a screen. This is the event in which Chicagoans are being helped day and night because of what's going on in our communities. We are suffering. People don't have groceries to get to eat and food to get to work.
And as
So
we walk
I'm going to share this with you.
to line, you'll notice there are many people out here already in line waiting, and it doesn't start for another hour. So this shows you how serious the need is for groceries and supplies, not only in the city of Chicago, but all over the world. It's not just here in Chicago. And as you can see, this is Cermak Fresh Market. And there's Dr. Shondo Velez. Good morning. Grand Rising. And I'm so happy to see you this morning.
Good morning to all. Yes. We're so grateful that you're out this early. You've awakened. You possibly had a very busy weekend. We had an extremely busy weekend. We were all over, including the famous and well-attended Bud Milliken Parade. And today it's Monday. And on Monday, as we start a new week, we find ourselves here at Belmont and I believe this is Pulaski. Yes, Belmont and Pulaski at the
Diversity.
or Diversity. There's one on Belmont as well. But we're here on Diversity and Pulaski at the Cermak store, and we are waiting for Dr. Willie Wilson to attend this giving of, once again, groceries to the community. Dr. Willie Wilson Foundation is such a giving man, as we have said so many times, and will continue to give. He always says, as the Lord blesses, he desires to bless others. So you will find a lot of people already lined up around
Start
the
your show
corner
now. Press
at
1.
other stores, 3 other stores, the same thing.
Oh, and why did it stop? Okay, have no idea. Anything that can go wrong is going wrong right now, so we apologize.
We are
for
sorry, but we're experiencing a problem with our system.
that. Okay,
Please
yes.
try your call again later or report a problem through the Blog Talk Radio webpage.
Yeah,
To start your show now, press 1.
Blog Talk is not working this morning, so we're just going to have to go without them because it's not working, and there's nothing we can do about it. So we have viewers and on the line from our YouTube channel and from the YouTube Higher Learning TV show. And and also Facebook.com HLN TV show. Oh, and my page too, Zelda Speaks. Facebook.com Zelda Speaks. So it's the cheat retreat. So we'll just have to do without Blog Talk today because it's not working. I pulled up my phone. You got yours on. And the cheat retreat is going on every second Saturday. Correct, Naima?
Well, we certainly do hope every second Saturday we can help those couples who are struggling with unfaithful mates.
And even more importantly than that, the cheating that we do within, the cheating we do on ourselves. How is that possible, Zelda? Well, let me share a little something with you. Every time you say yes to something that you know you should say no to, That's cheating. That's cheating yourself because you could be doing something
Okay.
else at that time.
Pause for a moment. We got into Blog Talk. I figured
Oh,
out.
wow, finally.
I'll tell you what it was later.
Okay, so I'm closing your line, and because my line is open. Yeah, my line is open, so I'm going to close yours because my line is open. So for those who want to call in, 515-605-9325, press 1 to speak. It is the official Cheat Retreat.
All right, let me play the opening of the show, and here we go.
All right.
Women have the power to transform this world. We can end crime and violence if we all agree to do one thing: share. Let's share our wisdom, share our time, share our talent, share our finances, but most of all, let's share our love. This is the female solution. Join me, Naima Latif, every morning, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Standard Time, as we bring you stimulating discussions about the issues affecting our lives. If you're listening online at www.blogtalkradio.com/the-female-solution, press the blue button that says follow and get our daily topics every morning directly to your email and your smartphone. Hi, I'm Naima Latif, executive producer of the Female Solution Radio Show. We invite you to call in 515-605-9325 and participate in this daily think tank as we examine the challenges we face and develop solutions that restore peace and harmony. We are global transformers, changing the world from the way it is to the way it should be. We are one. Wherever we live on this earth, we are one human family. On behalf of our team of radio hosts, I'd like to extend a greeting to all the members of our family, whenever and wherever you may be listening around the world. To our family in China, Ni Hao. In India, Namaste. In Japan, Konnichiwa. In Korea, Annyeonghaseyo. In Russia, Здравствуйте. In Germany, Guten Tag. In Poland, Dzień dobry. In France, Bonjour. In Spain, Hola. In Italy, Ciao. In Egypt, Assalamualaikum. In Aquaba. In Nigeria, Peleo. In South Africa, Salbona. In Senegal, Nangade. In Kenya, Jambo. In Israel, Shalom. In Pakistan, Afghanistan, and Saudi Arabia, Assalamu alaikum. Greetings, and may peace be upon you all.
All right.
And these are just some of the places, platforms, I should say, where you can see, hear, feel, and touch the Female Solution. Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Apple Podcasts, Amazon, Blog Talk Radio, which is finally working. Yay! Facebook, awesome, and Google Podcasts, Podbean, and on air everywhere.
Yes. Yes. Well, you know, this topic here, I guess the reason why it was so hot because there's so many people who are struggling with how to deal with what they see as infidelity in their spouses, their mates, their significant others, those who they thought they had an exclusive relationship with, but apparently it is not. So now what we'll need to do, because I want to make sure that our blog talk.
Yeah, I've got my line open. So yeah, they can hear.
So, okay. So you can hear on blog talk.
Yep.
All right, great. Yeah, we want to make sure no one misses anything because we want you all to call in and you know, you don't have to give your name if you want to remain anonymous.
I opened your mic back up because I couldn't hear me. Now I can hear. Of course, I left the mic open. So
great.
I'll leave it open. As long as it doesn't interfere, I've got it open.
Yes, as long as you don't get an echo.
I'm sorry, so go right ahead.
Yes. So, you know, one of the things that we are concerned about is that there are so many people whose relationships have disintegrated, and they're angry, and sometimes people get angry to the point of violence when they
Yes.
feel that someone is leaving them or threatening to leave them. We talked about this on Dr. Debbie's show. You know, it's really kind of an epidemic, these what she calls murder murder suicides, where, you know, it's
Wow.
like, "Well, if I can't have you, nobody can."
Right.
So, you know, before it gets to that point of physical violence or even such emotional distress that you do, like what was that Janet Jackson did in Why Did I Get Married To? And she
Oh
tore up
yeah.
the
Yeah.
house,
Yeah.
flipped all out. Well, you know, we have some of that too.
Yeah.
Uh, People feel like, you know, you cheated on me, I'm gonna break out the windows in your car, you know, I'm gonna tear up all your clothes, like on what was that that Angela Bassett
Our
was in.
fella got our groove back.
Yes. And you know, you have a lot of people that they react with extreme emotion when they fear they're about to lose the one they love, or that the one they love has been intimately involved with someone else.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to learn better ways of responding, especially because you can't control how another person behaves. And you really don't own anyone's emotions, even if you have a commitment to be exclusive. There has to be a civil way for you to decide, well, is this relationship over? Or did you merely have an interlude with someone else? Or are you building a relationship with someone else in addition to me? Or are you and I done and we need to just part ways respectfully? You got to figure out what the situation is. And if you're the one who's trying to step away and step to somebody else, then how do you bring that to your partner honestly so that you don't end up triggering inappropriate behavior such as violence, even if it's verbal abuse? You know, it's no reason for somebody to call you names. If you say, well, you know, I believe, you know, the love is gone. You know, was the Gladys Knight song, neither one of us wants to be the first to say goodbye.
Right.
So sometimes you have to realize when a relationship really is over. Maybe the romance is gone, or maybe the interest is gone, or whatever the case is. But one of you needs to have the maturity to just say out loud, it's time for us to move on. This is not working.
Yeah.
And I'd rather tell you to your face and have you find out that I'm seeing this person on the side and really planning to kind of move away from you. You know, there got to be better ways to deal with it. But if what you're finding out is the one you love is just merely still playing the field, even though you thought it was exclusive,
Okay.
how do you deal with that? And is that grounds for ending the relationship, or do you all just need to really have a talk about it? And can you talk about it in a way that's civil without a lot of name calling and anger because you feel betrayed?
And we have not made it there yet. We are still, as the children say, we are all up in our feelings, honey. We are just all over the place, just exploding and just doing crazy things that we will regret. But we right about now, we in our feelings, and it is those emotions that will keep you trapped in a place that you don't want to be longer than you want to be there. How do I know?
So have you ever been the on the well? First of all, have you ever been the
Yes.
person who
Who
walked away?
cheated?
Okay, so
Well,
what did you learn
I'm,
from it?
I'm going to share this, and I don't know if Tony's ever heard this or not, but he's about to
No,
hear it now.
the
Probably about in the late 80s, early 90s, I was in a relationship with a young man who had a drug problem, and I
mm,
didn't know he had a drug problem. And when you got a drug problem, you do things that you wouldn't ordinarily do in order to get those drugs. And
mm,
one of the things that he did was he went out and started, well, he didn't have a relationship. He slept with a hooker.
Ooh.
Came back and told me that he was just that kind of person. He had integrity about himself because we were close. But when he told me that, I was like, wow,
Mm.
you slept with a prostitute
Mm.
and you expect me to hang around? He was like, I know.
Wow.
I said, well, let me make this easy for you because we are no longer a couple. We can remain in contact, which we did, which we have, and I guess he couldn't take it. But we will not be together because the fact that you sought solace in another woman because we were having issues, you broke that bond. So I can't trust you. So if I can't trust you, I don't need to be around you. That's my thinking. Because if you did it once, chances are there's a great possibility that you might do it again. So I applaud him for having the courage to share with me that he did have an affair, not an affair, a one night stand with a prostitute. And come to find out, because we hadn't seen each other in some days, he had an infection. And I was like, thank you
Ooh.
very much for not sharing your affection with me. And to this day, I'm very grateful for that because I could have, HPV, that virus thing that pops up in
Yeah.
women. And I had a cousin that passed from that, what, maybe 10 years ago. I didn't know about it then, but the fact that he had the integrity to share with me, and that left me with to decide whether or not I wanted to continue that relationship. And I decided not to continue that relationship because I had to be good to me. I was already in a volatile situation. I was homeless at the time.
Mm. Oh
I
wow.
was I was homeless. I was homeless in the respect that I didn't have my own apartment or home. I was living with my brother who had a big house and I could have my own bedroom and do whatever I wanted, come and go as I please, but it wasn't mine. So I still
Mm-hmm.
felt homeless.
Mm-hmm.
So the way that I overcame that was just not to be around him. And once again, that reinforced the thought in my head that one, I will never get married because men can't be trusted. And number two, yeah, Tony looking at me shaking his head. Well, I'm just telling you what I felt because I had never seen a marriage in my family or anywhere else for that matter, but specifically in my family where it was a positive marriage. It was a loving marriage. Every relationship I saw in my family, somebody was cheating.
Mm.
Whether it was the man or the woman, somebody was cheating. And I didn't want to settle into a relationship where that was going to happen. So I decided, number one, I'm not getting married. Number two, I don't trust men until Tony came along and changed that whole thinking mindset that I had. So that's what I mean by not cheating yourself. If I had stayed in that relationship and took a chance on catching a venereal disease, I probably would have beat myself down even more because if I had stayed in the relationship, that's cheating me. That's not cheating the other person. That's cheating me because my body, mind, and spirit told me, no, you don't want to do this. You don't want to go through this. And I think, Naima, and I may be wrong, but I think I brought that experience into my life because that's what I feared. I
Mm-hmm.
feared that I would get in a relationship and somebody would cheat on me because I've been ingrained with the thought all my life that men are cheaters. And I saw that from my four brothers, and they were all players. So I
Mm.
never saw anything where the man was real. Tony's going, yeah, didn't know that, did you? So I I had to come to the realization that I drew him into my life to prove the point that the power of the mind. I said I didn't want to be cheated on, but that's not what was going on. That subconscious mind that was rolling, telling me that all men are cheaters, all men are unfaithful. So I brought that to myself. Does that make sense?
Well, everything that we experience, we bring to ourselves
Mm.
because whatever you focus on is what you draw to you.
Mm-hmm.
So what you fear and fear intensely, that's the reality that you create. And this is why, people are constantly thinking all these men are no good. They're no good. They're no good. They all lie. They all lie. Well, then you will attract a no good man.
Yes, that's exactly what you will attract. I didn't attract a man who was unfaithful. I attracted a man who was faithful to himself. And he was there to teach me the lesson to be faithful to myself and to learn to be okay without him or any other man for that matter. So I remained single until I was 55 because I swore on a stack of Bibles. I'm not marrying no hoish ass man. I'm sorry, I should have said that. But I did.
But what we've learned is that is what men have learned how to be. And we've heard that from men when we listen in on their men only discussion on the Female Solution on the fourth Saturday. The fourth Wednesday of every month. And they have a men only discussion. They talk about these things, so-called privately, but we're listening. But they've all said that this is what I was told by the older men in my life who reared me and who I admired. They said, hey, get as much sex as you can from as many as you can.
Yes.
And that's the mark of manhood.
Weren't you told that, Tony? Get the draws, dog. He said, yeah. Yeah, he said, yeah.
So if that's what young boys are taught is manhood, then how does that change when no one ever says, okay, well, now that you've done that, that really wasn't the right thing to do. What you should do is be faithful to your wife. No, there's never a reversal of those original instructions. So the idea is you have your wife, the person you're going to have your family with, and then if you're slick enough, then you have your girls on the side and just make sure she don't find out about it.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like the inside joke that men have. So now what women have started doing is saying, well, look, if you're going to play, so am I. Yep. So now everybody's out here being dishonest.
Yeah.
And, like you say, you have some harmful and even fatal diseases that come with multiple sex partners where people are not conscious of the vibration that they're carrying to someone else and the mixing of body fluids and hygiene habits and all those things that aren't pleasant that we experience when people are not exclusive as they promise to be.
What did you say, Tony?
Somebody tell you they cheating on you, that hurts. That hurts bad.
For those of you who didn't hear my hubby in the background, he said, well, somebody tells you that you can't trust. How can you? Trust has been broken. Tony's saying that hurts. You can't trust a person after they've done that to you and told you that. How can you?
So the question is, can you forgive? And if you forgive, does that mean you treat them as if it never happened? Or does that mean you keep bringing it up, warning them it better not happen? How do you deal with it if you choose to forgive and stay in the relationship?
Or how much you love that person.
Tony says it depends on how much you love that person.
That's what it depends on.
Now, the second thing is, what if the person that they cheated with is still around and still available? How do you prevent them from going back to that person if they have been involved and that other person ain't done yet? They feel like, well, I don't have any loyalty to your mate. I'm going to do what I want to do. So how do you handle that? Do you approach that other person and say, look, stay away from my man? I know we're going to take a break, but afterwards I'll share my story of a person. Now, I was involved with this person. I did not know that they were married. And then I got a visit from their wife. So we'll talk about that.
Yes, we will talk about that one, girl.
Sorry.
That one.
Yes, we do.
We will definitely talk about that one. So are you running the board this morning?
Well, you may want some visual ads, so you can go ahead and handle that if you like.
Okie dokie. I'll just do but I gotta let people know about what's going on with their rights. So while I'm pulling up the commercial, I just want to play like a few seconds of this because you don't know it, but your rights are being in jeopardy. And when you go to vote in the poll this what is it, November? November. Yeah, you may not be able to do that. So I want to share.
Quite upset at that.
Yeah, because 77, over half of the polls in Chicago have been closed.
Ooh,
Yeah,
oh dear.
and that's in our communities.
That's not good.
Why can I not hear this? Turn it up. Oh, it's so low. 24, 24.
Now they haven't said they said that a list of polling stations that would be closed. But that I everybody else is saying is that that's just most of
Having come to world peace, the restoration of life, transcends culture, religion,
Do that or I'll do that.
ideology, and other boundaries to achieve a peaceful harmony in the
2 hours.
global society. HWPL is committed to bringing world peace and cessation of war through peaceful dialogue between religious groups. I am Director Shin-Suk Kim of the HWPL Chicago branch of North America. Join us for our next gathering. Call 773-580-1501 and be a part of the movement for world peace. Email us at chicagohwpl@gmail.com. Hi, this is John Alexander. And I'm Naima Aziz. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV. YouTube it. We'll see you soon. There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their story, to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming this world. Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable listeners. Is Monday morning a struggle to get out of bed into the swing of things? Join us for thought-provoking, stimulating, and mindful conversations on higher learning with Zelda Speaks for your Monday morning mindfulness session on Blog Talk Radio, The Female Solution. Monday, 7:30 until 9 a.m. Be sure to send your ideas, thoughts, comments, and suggestions. Also, if you'd like to be a guest on the show, visit ZeldaSpeaks.com and send us your info. We'd love to have you. Experience mindfulness moments with the mindfulness/stress relief coach, Zelda Speaks. And thanks for sharing the mindfulness moment tip of the day. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to your next session of mindfulness on higher learning with Zelda Speaks. Make it a mindful day. And thanks for listening.
And this is our last commercial.
This is Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, spiritual counselor and advisor. I invite you to a private meeting in the areas of business, health, finances, relationships for introductory cost of $20. Please call because there is a higher power that can help me help you. 312-802-4743. Peace and blessings to you all. Call me. 312-802-4743.
And today's show is dedicated to the memory of the husband of the voice that you heard. That's Minister Cynthia Marie Williams, who was once, she's still our sister of the microphone, but she was once one of our hosts here on The Female Solution. And her husband passed. He was ran over in the middle of the street. What was it, 87th and Ashland, about a month ago?
Yes.
His funeral and memorial is today at 2:00, so we'll be rushing out of here to go there. But in the meantime, in between time, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Higher Learning TV show, and our Facebook channel for updates, and now Naima is about to share with us her story. I didn't know that she had one.
Yes. Well, this was back in the day when I was attending school at the University of Nebraska. Back in the early '80s, and I was seeing a young man who he was from Mississippi, and his family, he and his cousins had come up north and settled in Nebraska.
Mm-hmm.
And so we were dating, we were seeing each other, hanging out and all that sort of thing, and, going out, going to shows, come by for dinner, all that sort of thing. I had no idea he had a family. So I get a knock on the door one evening, and a young lady holding a little baby, little one about 18-month-old baby. She's got in her arms, a little, cute little chubby child, and she says, "Hi, I wanted to come and see you. I need to talk to you. We need to have a woman to other woman talk." And I'm like, "What? Who?" So I invite her in. We sat down on the couch, and she explained that her husband had been seeing me, and she wanted me to know, and she made a point. She had her baby on her lap and everything. Said, "I want you to know he has a family, and I don't want to lose my family." I mean, she was appealing to me as a woman. I'm sitting there like stunned, like I say, "Well, he never mentioned you or his child, uh, definitely." So I had no knowledge you existed. And I mean, she wasn't angry or anything. She was just kind of appealing to my conscience. Here's a man with a little baby, and and he's been spending time with me as if he intends to leave his family. And so I think she actually traveled up to Nebraska from Mississippi
Oh yeah, take care of it, Tony.
To find out who this other woman was that her husband was seeing, and made it her point to come by and meet me and let me know that this was a man with a family, a young baby.
Mm.
So I said, "Well, I'm glad you came by. I appreciate it. I certainly didn't know he was married with a child. So, I'll make sure that I let him know that you have come by to visit me."
Wow.
So I think that next day or the day after, I called him and he came over, and I said, "Well, I can't see you anymore. Your wife came with the baby." So he was like, "Oh, well, sometimes women don't understand, men, man, a man's gonna be a man, and most men, they really don't, they really want more than one woman, and you know, uh, women don't always understand that. I mean, I didn't want her to be upset. This is why I was with somebody that was not from my hometown." And so I'm like, "Oh, really? So what was your intention?" And he's like, "Well, she's down there and you up here, so it wouldn't have been no problem."
Oh.
Oh, well, there's a problem, because you were married with a child.
Yeah. Big problem.
Something that I do. I don't get involved with, family men. So I told him, of course, that was the end of our relationship. But it was interesting. I found her method admirable, because she came to me very respectfully. She made sure she brought that baby, though, so that I could visualize
Yes.
the family that you're tearing apart.
Yes. The damage that you're doing.
Feel that. And I was able to find out from him that his intention was to have, women up north, myself, and then his wife down south, and he was gonna be happy with that.
Right.
So that brings out the fact that a lot of men may get into relationships, and they may even marry someone without having the slightest intention of being faithful. They just intend for their other relationships not to be known by the wife. And for them, that's okay, because that may have been how the men in their environment operated. Everybody had the wife and the woman on the side. And I'm learning more about that. The more I talk to men, the more they say that, well, yeah, everybody does that. And this is what can be upsetting. If everybody does that, that means none of our relationships are really based on truth. It's based on deception. And the idea is just don't get caught.
Yeah, just don't get caught.
So is that, and I've been told by many men, look, this is how it's always been,
And this is how it's gonna always be.
will always be.
Mm-hmm.
Which really is, it does a disservice to everybody involved. If people are believing that you are involved with them exclusively and then they find out later you're not. Now just think, now what would happen if I had gotten intimately involved with this man, which I'm thank God I did not, because that was just not my practice. Because I knew that, you know, once you get pregnant by somebody who has not made a commitment to you, then, you know, they basically have you in a position of struggle for the rest of your life. And I had a plan for my life. Didn't include
Okay.
that. What if I'd had a child? And I'm saying, well, why can't we get married? And he'd be like, well, I got a wife.
Yeah.
I'd have been ready to kill him, you know, or strangle him or beat him good. You know, I mean, I would have. But how many women does that happen to, where you got, you know, this one with the man's baby and that one with the man's baby and that one with the man's baby, and none of them know each other. And then when they find out about each other, they're at perpetual war with each other.
With each other instead of the man.
Instead of the man saying, why did you deceive me? Why did you misuse her and deceive me? You really, you misused both of us. But you're right. Instead of the women being angry at the man, they end up being angry at each other.
And that is so wrong. And it is so unnecessary.
Which is why I was
attacking another woman.
Yeah. Why are you attacking another woman?
Choice that your
man made. Your man made that choice, but
your man made that choice. So why are you attacking her? She probably didn't know, just like
I didn't know. I had no clue. I mean, his wife was all the way down there in Mississippi. I had no idea that she even existed, much less alone a child. Of course, he never mentioned her.
Of course not.
You know. So a lot of times women don't even know, which why I appreciate it and respect the way his wife, I don't know if she drove up, took a train or whatever, but she came up to find me.
Yep.
Let me know he has a wife and child back home. And I would not have known. So a lot of times men will approach a woman and they never mention they're married. And they never mention they got children. And so you thinking you got this relationship that's building and you get all involved and emotionally attached and you think you got a future with this person and they already built a life with somebody else. So now what is that? And I want to know, and if you all have ever done this, if you've ever done it, I know some of y'all have, call us 515-605-9325 and tell us what was on your mind when you decided to have that other relationship. Was it during a time where you maybe were thinking of breaking it off with the one you had because maybe things weren't going well and you weren't sure, is it over, is it not over? Well, maybe let me see how someone else makes me feel. Were you thinking, oh, I can probably have both of them, they live in different parts of town or even different cities, so I can, you know, have me my double life? A lot of people do that. You know, they got a family over here, family over there, and you never find out until the person dies, and then you got all these people coming to the funeral like, wait a minute, who's this person?
And then there's chaos and confusion at the funeral. You want to avoid that if possible.
Yes.
Let me tell you a good, well, there wasn't chaos at the funeral, but my brother, rest in peace, my oldest brother.
Mm-hmm.
His wife was on the south side. His woman was on the north side. He has children from his wife, and now he has children from his mistress. But I commend him on what he did, because I don't know if I'd have did it. You don't know what you're going to do until you're in that situation.
Right.
He introduced his children to each other.
Well, now that was respectful.
That was admirable. I don't know, because I had moved out, if his wife, and I don't want to call any names of the children because they're still living and they may see this.
Right.
But I thought it was important what he did to introduce the siblings to each other, because children, young people, adults, if they get together and start a relationship, and that relationship produces some children,
What
there's
happened?
there's gonna be some problems. There's gonna be some serious problems. There's gonna be some birth defects. There's gonna be there's just a whole gamut of issues that can arise from that. And then when everybody shows up at at the family
Reunions.
like, so why are those people sitting over there not talk to us? And why are these people running things when I know we should be running things? So I applaud him for doing that. I didn't agree with it at the time. I was too young to understand. But now that I understand, it makes no sense to keep things in the dark because it's gonna come out eventually.
Yeah.
It may happen at the funeral, and it might not, but it's gonna come out some shape, form, or fashion. So I said that to say this: what's done in the dark comes to the light. So you choose how you want the light to shine in your life.
Yes, and that's the thing. A lot of times, people have not let their children know that they have half brothers and sisters somewhere. And I remember a couple of years ago of a case where two people got together. They were about to get married. And then they found out that they had the same father.
Oh,
and they were trying to figure out, they were devastated because, like, because one of them things where the girl didn't know her father and all that sort of thing, and then come to find out, the same father. And what were they supposed to do? And so then the question was, do we go ahead and get married? Well, no, we can't get married because we're brother and sister. But it was devastating. And these things happen more than you would realize, because you don't know what is just drawing you to somebody, and you don't realize that you are a family, blood family. And it's one of those relationships that the father didn't tell anybody. And sometimes women may not tell the husband. Women may get pregnant by one person and then marry somebody else. And if they do it when the child is young enough, the child may never know that this is not their blood father. So that happens a lot as well. So I think you have to always tell the truth. Always tell the children who their real parents are, even if they're raised by somebody else, even if that other person is with another family. They deserve to know who their relationships are, who their relations are, who their brothers and sisters are from another mother, or whatever the case may be. But it happens often, and it can really wreck your life. But now what I want to know, if anybody has ever had the experience of having a child that perhaps they didn't know they have come into their life later on after they've started a family with someone else, and then they have somebody come back and say, well, I'm your child. If that's ever happened to you, how do you handle that? Do you bring that? Do you welcome into your family? Do you say, get away from me? I don't know you. I don't want my spouse to exist. How do you handle it when a child emerges from your past that you didn't intend anybody to know about?
Wow. Deborah Smith says, our other star of the microphone says 100. 100 everything we're talking about. Yeah, because you talk about keep it real, as the young people say. You got to keep it real. Like, you got to tell the truth, because not telling the truth was going to have you in a place you don't want to be in. It don't feel good being in an environment, in a situation that you don't feel good in. I mean, you just radiate pain. You can see the pain on their faces. You seen people who are in pain? They look like they're in pain. It's just something hurting everywhere. Headache, backache, shoulders, arm, butt, feet, ankle, lips. Everything hurts. So that pain is there for a reason, to teach you not only to be in a relationship that is worthy of you. How did that happen? Naima just disappeared. But to be worthy of yourself. Why be in a situation that you don't have to? You have a choice. So why not use that choice? The choice is yours. sometimes you just got to block out other people, places, and things and get quiet. That's why we talked about the meditate to activate on Monday morning mindfulness. We need a routine on a daily basis on what to do, how to do it,
Yes,
whatever brings you peace.
absolutely.
Peace is yours.
Yes.
You make a choice to stay in a place you don't want to be longer than you want to be there.
Well, now that's another issue, coming to peace. How do you handle it if you find out that one you love is involved in whether it's extramarital relationship, or if you all are just supposed to be in a committed relationship and they are not committed exclusively to you? How do you handle it? Do you express anger? And if you express anger, who do you express anger at? We've talked about women being angry at each other, and that doesn't make a lot of sense, because you're angry at someone who's involved with this person just like you are. Now, there's two things. If a person's married, the idea is they have made a decision that they are done looking around. They found someone, and this is who they're going to be with. If they're not married, that means they have not made that decision, which is kind of unfair because you got that period of time when people are dating, when either party might decide, well, look, I'm really not sure if this is the one, I'm still looking. So if the two people have not decided that their relationship is heading toward the exclusivity of marriage, then at any point in time, either party is free to go. So can you then get angry if they decide, well, I'm really still looking, or I still want to enjoy the company of another person? Can you get angry? And I've seen people be ready to come to blows by saying, she's trying to take my man. Nobody can take anyone from you. And I think I've told this story before. I had two 8th grade students, girls, going to fight each other over a boy. And I'm like, okay, so are you expecting that the one that wins the fight is going to win the man? And then I asked the young man, okay, if you have two girls that you like and they're fighting over you, do you go with the one that wins the fight? And they all laughed. One of them said, and I said, which one would you choose out of the two girls that fight? And so one of them said, well, it depends on which one is the cutest. And then another one said, well, it depends on if which ones get her face scarred up in the fight. So
Oh my goodness.
So, and then one said, well, it depends if the one that win the fight, if she fight that girl, she might beat you up if you don't go with her. So
let me tell you, it's some rough women out here.
Rough women.
Saw a woman yesterday lift 660 pounds.
Oh yeah.
It was like, I would not fight with her. I know you wouldn't.
So but the point that I wanted to make to the girls is that you're fighting each other, and their reason for choosing you has nothing to do with who wins this fight. Not really. I mean, it doesn't mean they're going to care for you if you win. So I said, what's the point of you fighting? And the one who was accusing the other of taking her man, she said, well, I just want to get my respect. So I said, so then to show that you are going to be respected, you beat up the young lady who is attracting the young man that you're involved with, and that get you respect. And she said, yeah. So I'm wondering now, are these girls, and it's really very widespread in not just high school but grammar school, are they learning these principles from the women in their lives, their mothers, their aunts, their older sisters, cousins, whatever? Are they learning that from us, that if another woman is attracting your man, then you have a right to physically assault her in order to make her respect your territory? Is that what we're teaching young girls?
And is that self-respect or street respect?
And maybe street respect for them, that's what's most important.
Street respect is more, so I got to keep it real. I got to keep it 100 because that's what's happening in the streets. Yeah, but you can't bring the street home with you. You got to live with that. And if you don't have respect for yourself, not to be in a relationship, well, you can say that, Zelda, you married. Married is not the end all. If you are not in love with self, I didn't meet Tony until I fell in love with me. That's a whole nother show.
That's it. You gotta love yourself. You're gonna bring to you the reflection of how you feel about yourself is what you're
You
gonna
will draw that to you. And when we come back from the next break in a few minutes, I want to talk. We really need to spend some time on this self-respect and street respect, because the laws, the universal laws that we live by, the laws that were created by the universe, I think will give us more respect than any street respect, because street respect is a man-made law. That is a law that was designed by man to validate or authenticate who you are as a person and what you will and will not do or allow to be in your life. That's a man-made law. But the creator's law, the law that says, I take the time to listen to what the creator, whatever you choose to call he, she, it, God, Jesus, Jehovah, Allah, Yahweh, you, whatever you choose to call it. What's more important is that you connect with it inside of yourself.
Right.
And we too busy connecting with the street, because we got to have street cred. Because I'm all that in a bag of chips and then some. Man, had a little hot sauce on them. No.
And even if you get street cred, let's say you beat up the person who attracted your mate. Will that translate into love in your household, or will it just make that person do it behind your back? What are you really trying to do? And can you make someone not love someone? Yeah.
Is that possible?
Yeah.
Is that feasible? I cannot tell you, self-respect is the most important respect you're going to ever get in life, because if you don't have what it takes within you to show your self-respect by saying no and not being afraid to be alone, which is only at one with self, then you're going to continue to have some problems. And I say that from experience. This ain't what I heard. I know. And after that relationship where I was cheated on, I was like, I don't want to be in a relationship for a while. I just don't. And I wasn't, because I was too busy working on me.
Yeah.
And it was after, like, I think it was, I don't know, 6 months or a year. I'm okay with being alone, because that's just who I am.
Must love yourself.
But it was after that 6 months or a year. I don't remember how long ago, because it was 40, 50 years ago. I don't even remember. But that's when men who valued me as a person showed up in my life.
Right.
I started dating again.
Right.
And I was being treated like the queen that I know I am. I wasn't accepting anything less. No, you're not going to take me to McDonald's. You're going to take me to a white linen restaurant with knives and forks. And there's another story I got to tell you about McDonald's, because I married the man who took me to McDonald's on the first date, but I just used that as an example.
Well, let's talk about, when we come back from the break, let's talk about what are signs that a person values you. Now, I might, after the break, it might take me a minute because I have to switch devices. But when you see me again, you just pull up my device.
Okay, I will do that. And right now, I'm just going to pull up the cheat ReTreat just so that they can see it. And when we come back, we're going to continue this conversation on respect, self-respect, because if we don't respect us, who will? We'll be right back.
And if about finances, family, health, job, relationships, are you in pain? Do you feel stuck? If you answered yes to any of these questions,
what happened? How come I don't hear anything? Oh, Naima cut it off? I don't hear anything. I don't know what happened, but I'm gonna find another commercial for y'all. I know, I know that much. I'm telling you, it has been crazy today. Anything that can happen will, and it is. So let me pull up another commercial here.
All right.
And I've got one more to play here, and here it is.
So then we're going to use your audio because I
Yeah.
got to switch devices.
Okay.
Crime in Chicago continues to increase.
I told you I would take care of
Community
it,
and
Tony.
politicians must come together to make a change. No one person can solve these problems by themselves, but I believe together we can make progress. Let's provide job training, economic growth, and invest into our 77 communities. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie Wilson for mayor.
Well, you all are going to have to excuse me because I got to go beat my
Other
husband
banks go out of their way to make redeeming credit
on
card
live
rewards
TV.
needlessly complicated. But Discover isn't like that. With Discover, you can redeem your rewards for cash in
This
any amount.
man
And any
is working my nerves today.
Crime in
Y'all
Chicago
need to know
continues to
that.
increase.
But let me find another commercial right quick. Hold. Oops.
Hi, this is John Alexander. And I'm Naima Latif. Meet people like you who are making a positive difference in the world. Watch us every day on The Media Connection at www.youtube.com/The Media Connection TV. There are people who choose to make a positive difference in the world. Our job is to bring you their stories to motivate you to do the same. Join us each week, host John Alexander and Naima Latif, as we bring you the educators, entertainers, elected officials, religious leaders, and community activists whose works are transforming
What is
this
that
world.
noise?
Find out how you can make a difference too. Be inspired. Watch The Media Connection. Mondays at 5 p.m. and Tuesdays at 12 noon on Cable TV, Channel 19 in Chicago. And other cities, check your local cable list.
Last commercial, y'all.
Your holistic life coach. These days, it's more important than ever to work on your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual health. Are you consciously breathing deeply in stressful moments? Do you have a plan or daily routine to maintain balance in your awesome body? Are you struggling to be disciplined in your eating habits? When you partner with me, I'll help you develop a personalized health plan that works for your particular lifestyle. You can find out more about me at yourholisticlifecoach.com, where you can also review my free protocol to guide you to abundant health. That's yourholisticlifecoach.com, and I'm Bianca.
And that is Viata, our Friday morning host. I don't know where that music is coming from. I have no idea. I don't have anything up. Anyway, that's Viata. I guess Naima has something running in the background because I don't know where that music is coming from, and I'm not playing anything. So let us continue.
The blog talk malfunction.
Yeah, that's exactly what's going on, and I've got the audio all the way down, so I don't even know how it's coming across. So we need to cut Blog Talk off because this is not working.
Yeah, we can cut that off and
If
then.
you want to hear what we have to say, if you want to hear what we have to say, type yes in the chat box. Yeah, the only thing I know to do is cut it off.
Yeah, cut it off, and I'll see if I can restart it. But
Yeah, because that's not. Tony, would you please stop? See, I'm trying to be civil here online. and my husband has not had his beating for the day.
Oh, gotta get his daily beating. That's right.
Yeah, he needs that daily beating. Let me take off my belt, go over there and whoop him. I don't even have a belt. I don't even wear a belt. That's a big belt. Oh, he want to crack jokes now. Did y'all hear what he just said? He said, "Oh, that's a big belt." So do I pick the computer up and walk over there? Yeah, I thought you'd change your mind. So y'all can see how goofy he looked behind the scenes. Yeah, I'm just gonna take that off a speaker because yeah, it's getting on my nerves. I know it's getting on other folks' nerves. So thank you for joining us back here on the Female Solution. Welcome to Saturday, every second Saturday of the month, the Cheat Retreat. And what are we talking about? The Cheat Retreat is not just for men and women, it's for souls. I don't care who you are, male or female, LGBT. I heard this comedian say the other night, the elemental PQR community. I was like, Lord have mercy.
Yeah, seem like they keep adding
vowels and consonants to it. So yeah, he said the elemental P community. So whatever community that is, we welcome you, and feel free to chat to put in the chat your thoughts. What do you think about cheating? Should people continue to cheat on others and themselves as well? The only person I cheat on right about now is, are you ready for this? Now listen, are you, Tony? Well, I think he knows. I cheat on myself. I cheat myself because I do things to myself that I wouldn't allow other people to do to myself. What's she talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
Well, a lot of times we may do that.
I eat things that I shouldn't eat that I know that are not good for me. Every now and then. Child, I had a slice of cake Thursday. Because for those of you who have an eating issue,
and
sugar has always been my challenge. And with the help of dulse and kelp, it has decreased tremendously because I don't now eat the whole pie. Like I buy a soup date pie, eat the whole pie, not just a slice, the whole pie. Now I can eat one slice of the pie. So I no longer cheat on myself in that respect because I know that my overindulgence in sugar came from a lack of not having when I was a child. And since the sugar was just so sweet, I can eat as much as I want and it won't hurt me. Yes, it did. It gave me diabetes. And as a result of that, it took me a year to get rid of it. So you can go to diabeticdonut.com and you can download the free handout that I made, the recipe that you would see me here drinking on Monday Morning Mindfulness: apple, beet, cucumber, lemon, ginger, kale, turmeric. So I no longer cheat myself out of feeling good, because when I eat the whole pie, I don't feel good. I'm mad at myself. I say negative things to myself, to other people, about other people, because I cheated on me. I wasn't being true to me by feeling and expressing what I was feeling by writing it out, because you got to get it out of you. That's why I keep pen and paper. Yeah, no, put it in your cell phone. No, there's no connection with this cell phone when it relates to my feelings. I need to write. I need to journal. See, because I had a guest who come on the show who talked about the connection between a pencil and this finger right here, and what it does to the synchronicity of the brain. And when you write that out, you are training yourself. I know this is a little bit too much for the average person, but it works. It works. I'm telling you, I don't eat the whole pie now. I eat just a slice. And Naima know it to be true because we've had some pie experiences, have we not?
For sure, absolutely. I mean, I have sat and ate a whole pie.
Okay.
I know. But a lot of times we eat to fill that void, especially if we're not in a love relationship. And it's important, if a person is going through a struggle with weight, to really understand what are the emotional reasons behind their eating and what is the emotional reasons behind overeating sugar, trying to bring some sweetness into your life.
Yes. Oh, I gotta go get my Louise Hayes book. Girl, go ahead. Yeah, because I want to share that.
Yeah.
I want to share what helped me heal. People need to know that.
Oh, yes. And the thing about it, just dieting, it's not going to help if you haven't dealt with the emotional reasons for your overeating. You have to deal with it, especially if you just ended a relationship and you feel like the sweetness is gone out of your life. You feel like you've been abandoned. You feel like you've been, someone left you. All of those things that we tell ourselves when a relationship ends, and all the painful things that we're believing when a relationship ends, that makes us turn to something else. And you also have to look at, if you come from a family of addictive behavior, you might have had a parent who was addicted to alcohol, and you say, oh, okay, I'm never going to drink, or I'm never going to overdrink. But then you end up addicted to chocolate, and you don't see the connection that you're turning to something outside yourself to make yourself feel better. And chocolate can be addictive, just like alcohol can be addictive. Sugar is one of the highest addictive things there is. So if you have already been conditioned to turn to something else outside of yourself to make yourself feel better, you've already been conditioned to be an addict. And you don't realize when you're a food addict, you don't realize when you're a sugar addict. You just see the physical results in your body. When your body starts to blow up, when your body starts to malfunction because of the imbalance, and you find yourself with diabetes, and you find yourself with obesity, and then you're even further beating yourself up because you're angry at the way you have cheated your body out of health. You're angry at the way you have made yourself suffer. You're angry at yourself. And so whenever you feel bad, what do? You eat. So it becomes a vicious cycle. It becomes a self perpetuating cycle when you are feeling bad and you use food to make yourself feel better, and food makes you gain weight. So you feel bad when you eat. And so you eat again, and then you feel bad for eating and gaining weight. So you eat some more. And this is where that obesity comes from. It's just, you just keep doing the same thing to make yourself feel better. And that's the thing that makes you feel worse. It's the same thing with people who drink. You feel bad, you got drunk, you cussed out people, you got into a fight, you got arrested, you went to jail, you feel bad. So you take a drink because you feel bad, and then you do something else ignorant because you're drunk. So it becomes a vicious cycle when you can't stop yourself from punishing yourself using the very same thing that hurt yourself in the first place. So how do you heal from self-hateful behavior?
They don't teach you that in school.
They don't teach
you. Come to the female solution for that.
You got to come to the female solution. I gotta step away. I'm gonna as you read from that book, and then I'll come back on my other device.
Okay.
So if you need to take me out of the
okay, no problem. All righty. Naima just left there. She'll be back. She's gone, Tony. It's just me on the screen, baby. She'll be back. Don't worry. Okay, so we want to talk about the patterns that we've developed. And I developed the pattern of overeating, especially as it comes to sugar. So I am a student of truth principles. Google it. Truth never changes. When you realize that there's nothing outside of yourself that can make you happy inside of yourself, then you're headed in the right direction. But it's a long process. And most of us are not willing to go the length to do what's necessary in order to feel good inside. So just let me share with you what I'm going through. There are patterns that we have developed, and I developed the pattern of overeating to fill the void I felt in my life because I didn't have this, that, or the other, whatever it was, a man or a certain job or money or a car or a trip or whatever. I felt a void. So eating always made me feel good. And that's the American way, because you eat until you bust, until you get a disease where you got to go to the doctor and take a prescription so you can feel better. That's not how we want to do it. We want to get deep down inside. So this is what I did. There's this book called Louise Hay, You Can Heal Your Life. And I got this book when I developed diabetes. So actually, I've had it long before then, but I let somebody use it. And the books that are your Bible, you don't lend them. I'm like, I got a lot of books that I will give. I got books now that I can give away. But this is one I will never give this away, because it teaches me about myself, things that they're not going to teach me in when you go to get a elementary school, high school, grade school. You go get your master's, your liberal, your master's, and especially your PhD. You are heavily indoctrinated. I hate to step on anybody's feet, but you got your education, but you are heavily indoctrinated in the way of thinking that this Western society teaches us. If you never left this country, do yourself a favor and go somewhere other than the USA. That's up to you. But you will see how we are trained. I'm listening to this African who was a cab driver, and he said, I see why there is so much pressure on the American people to have a good job and a good car and to have X amount of money and vacation homes and this, that, and the other. And they don't have peace. We don't have it because, slavery, you're right. So the old-fashioned way of slavery of, chopping cotton, I've done that too. That's in my first book, The Passion Principles, Pathways to Purpose, Power, and Profit. That way of thinking and of slavery, I should say, because we are all mentally enslaved. I'm still enslaved. I just recognize it. The thing is, most of us don't recognize it. I digress. Let me go back to You Can Heal Your Life. So I'm healing from an accident that I had, an incident, which is God's way of remaining anonymous, or the Creator's way of remaining anonymous. And as I'm going into surgery, you know how they read your wristband, name, age, date of birth, diseases, and then when he says diabetes, and I was like, "Oh, who are you talking to? You talking to me? No, I don't have no diabetes." He's like, "Yes, you do." So as a result of that, I was on metformin for a year, and I read what metformin does to the organ. So yes, we all have some damage if we've ever taken a prescription pill, especially your liver and your kidneys. That's why I drink the juice that I drink every day. I'm trying to repair the damage that's been done. But even more importantly, the damage that is in here that is still circulating, and that damage can be reversed. And I'm working on that every single day. So what I do is I pull up the book, You Can Heal Your Life, and it's on audio too. It's on audio, so you can listen. You don't have to read it, because I know y'all don't like to read, but I'm a reader. I'm a writer, so I have to read. So I looked up the word diabetes, and this is what it said. I know you can't see it, but I'm gonna put it up there anyway. Can y'all see that diabetes? So I'm gonna read to you what it says. It gives you the problem, which appears to be the problem. So diabetes appears to be the problem. And then it gives you the probable cause of the problem. And then it gives you a new thought pattern. So let's go through this one at a time. Diabetes is the problem. The probable cause for the problem, it says longing for what might have been. A great need to control. I'm about to put my business out here in the street now. Deep sorrow. No sweetness left. Okay. I'm going to talk about what my issues are, and then we'll go to the new thought pattern, because I'm in the process of the new thought pattern now. So let's look at the first thing it said. It said, looking for what might have been. I might be wrong, but I doubt it. Looking for what might have been. When my mom passed when I was 11 years young, and I went south to live with an aunt, when my mom passed, I feel all alone. Nobody wants me. Even though I have 6 brothers and sisters. Nobody want to be bothered. You're the baby. You're the baby girl. My little brother under me. Nobody want to be bothered with no kids. And that was reinforced because my sister-in-law, who just got married to my brother had just gotten out of the Vietnam War, came home, and that's why they let him home because my mom had passed. And she was a school teacher, just had got her degree. She's teaching school, and I love her to this day. She's gone. May she rest in peace. But she did not want children, and she damn sure didn't want some children that weren't hers. And even though I was her, would that make me her niece in law? Something like that. She didn't mean any harm, but she wanted to do what she wanted to do. She just spent a ton of money, got her master's degree in teaching. She wants to teach. She don't want to be at home with no kids. She didn't even want to have kids. And that helped destroy her inner peace too, because my brother wanted kids and a lot of them, and they had them. And needless to say, how that left her mentally, physically, and emotionally. But let's get back looking for what might have been. What I was looking for was the family that I no longer have. I was looking for the family that I no longer would be in contact with because I was being shipped south like cargo, like slavery, to live in another environment with people who knew nothing about me. She was my aunt and my mother's sister, and I appreciate it. Loved me some Aunt Edna, loved me some Aunt Julie, loved me some Grandma, but I didn't know them. I wasn't raised around them, so I felt abandoned, like nobody wanted me. First time Tony hearing this too. I might have touched on it, but not really. I didn't feel loved. I didn't feel wanted. So I figured if nobody else wanted me, then why should I even be around? It's another suicide story, another day. But I know what I had been longing for, what might have been. I was longing for the need to be recognized as a member of a family. My family structure was gone. Mama dead, kids going south, that's a wrap. Do survive any kind of way you can. The next sentence says a great need to control. Listen to this, Tony. You hear him say, a great need to control. I'm in the probable cause of this diabetes issue that I had. I'm in the need to control. A great, not just a little bit, but a great need to control. So I had to control my conversation. Nobody was going to ever talk over me. I'm still working on that because I still talk over the host when I'm on another show. I'm still working on that. I told you I'm a work in progress. I don't have all the answers, but I'm still working on me. No, he didn't just clap. Y'all help me, Lord. I'm still a work in progress. I needed to control my environment. I needed to control my relationships. I needed to control what goes in my mouth. And that was the biggest issue because, honey, I was putting anything in my mouth that made me feel better temporarily. Sugar always does that. Gives you a great big sugar high rush and you feel good. Eating that sweet potato pie and them butter cookies and that devil food, what they call it, the red velvet cake. Baby, please, I know I'm on the first name. Ben and Jerry, child, please. We was first cousins. But all of that stuff was ruining my kidneys, my heart, my liver, my lung, my spleen, my spine. I could be dead, but I know that the Maker has plans for me. And part of that is here on the Female Solution to share this with you. So that was my need to control. And deep sorrow. It says deep sorrow. I had deep, deep sorrow. I did not feel love. Nobody wanted me because I was being shipped down south like a cow. And that sorrow existed for a very long time. And in that sorrow, we'll get into that in a minute, there was no sweetness left. So you get that? There was no sweetness, so I had to get some sweetness some kind of way. And I wasn't doing drugs. I was too young, so I had to get the only way I knew how. Food, pop, soda. Y'all, we call them sodas down south, but pops here in the north. So diabetes was the problem. The probable cause was looking for what might have been family connection, a great need to control because I can't control nothing because they ship me south. I'm not even controlling my body. So, and a deep sorrow. Deep sorrow. I didn't feel love. I didn't feel wanted. I didn't feel needed. And no sweetness was left. That was the probable cause of the patterns that I have developed. Get to the patterns in a minute. But we want to talk about the new thought pattern. So the new thought pattern, that's where the affirmations come in. That's why, and it says in the book to write them at least 10 times on a piece of paper. So this is I've been doing this for years, and I can tell you it makes a difference. It may not seem like it to other people, but I know what's going on in here. So what I wrote is this moment. This is the affirmation. Affirmations are tools for changing consciousness, tools for changing the programming that we have had since birth. The same programming that tells us to do things that we know that are not good for us, be in a relationship that's not good for us, to cheat on ourselves mentally, physically, emotionally, work that extra job just to make extra money. And I know we need extra money, but we spend more time on that job because we've been told we need extra money. And sometimes we do, often we do. But that extra hour, just working one extra hour, if you would spend that one extra hour on you, going in here, baby, bye. It makes all the difference in the world. I digress. This moment is filled with joy. This moment right here is filled with joy. This brings me so much joy to share this information with you because nobody shared it with me when I was growing up. This is the kind of information we need to be sharing with our children. They need to know this because they're smart as hell. They're real smart. They come here knowing things that we didn't know when we were kids. And they know so much and they do so much and they're just so much more advanced. But they don't know this. Some do, some don't. And that's our responsibility as adults to share that with them. So the affirmation is this moment is filled with joy. And I even wrote a poem about joy. Oh, joy. Oh, yes. Always right on time. It's come from one of my books, Inspirational Conversations. I'm just so excited. Y'all, excuse me. I get overwhelmed. This moment is filled with joy. Right here, right now. I get joy in sharing this with you. I now choose to experience the sweetness of today. How about that? Write that 10 times on a piece of paper every day. First thing in the morning. If you don't give yourself the first 5 minutes of the day, you are giving your life away. Because there is something, someone, somewhere out there to take you off your square. Can I get a witness? Type it in the comments. Can I get a witness? I'm going to say that one more time. This moment is filled with joy. I now choose to experience the sweetness of today. I want to know what, that was my issue. Still is my issue. I'm a work in progress. I want to know what your issues are. Because I want to feed it and write it and share it with you. Let me give you constipation because metformin kept me constipated. Because I know a lot of y'all constipated because I know you don't eat vegetables. We weren't trained to eat vegetables. So that's why I make smoothies every day. I take some kale or some spinach and I mix it with moringa, turmeric, flaxseed, chia seed, ashwagandha. That's another herb. Did I say moringa? I think I did. Because, and the nopal, N-A-P-A-L. Get it at a Mexican store. It looks like a big cactus. And it's prickly, but I don't buy the prickly ones. And you slice it in half, put it in the blender. I'll do a video. I've done one. I just haven't uploaded it yet. But anyway, I take that and I have great bowel movements. Oh, did I mention sea moss? I put sea moss in everything. And when I take that, I feel good. It's like I can feel the joy going down my throat, circulating and percolating and doing what it do on the inside. And I feel good about that because I take the time every day, every morning to nourish myself. And days when I'm in a hurry and I don't, I'm off center all day until I get still and quiet and listen and journal. Remember I told you the magic that happens between the pen, the paper, the pencil and the paper. There's magic in this. They don't want you to know that because they want you to stay on this. I know I'm hooked to. They want you to stay on this. And it's working because I had to force myself to turn my phone off when I go to bed at night. Well, I got friends who say, well, I have children. But you also have yourself. And if you don't take care of self first, children don't matter. Because they're going to always need something. But what matters most is you and your health and your mental health and your mental health awareness. Okay, I digress. I do that. Constipation. This is what the spirit just gave me because I know somebody somewhere constipated. Constipation is the problem, right? Okay, what's the probable cause of the constipation? It says refusing to release old ideas, stuck in the past, sometimes stinginess. Okay, so I was constipated, so let me put some more of my business out here in the street. Constipation was the problem. The probable cause is refusing to release old ideas. I had to let go of the old idea that men were hoes. Men are not hoes. Men are unfulfilled. And it expresses itself through their penis because they haven't learned how to master that penis. And they probably never will. I know I should never say never. And I'm not apologizing to men because I am speaking my truth. Because this society and most societies teach men to get as much as they can, as long as they can, whenever they can. They're not hoes. They just haven't tapped into the power within. Let me share with you something very quickly. I saw a YouTube video the other day where the guy was talking about just that. And he says men are trained to do what I just said, but what they should be looking for in a woman is a woman that can help them build their empire. They're too busy trying to get the dogs. But see, because they don't have a vision for themselves, all of their vision is in their penis. That's what they do. And I ain't hating on nobody with a penis. I got a husband, love him, and his penis. Oh no, I shouldn't have said that right. But anyway, I do. But you have men, I'm talking to you now, you have to get to a point in your life, and usually don't get there until you're in your 40s. Because y'all a little. When you find a woman, ain't nothing wrong with dating. Date as many as you want to, but women, y'all need to know y'all need to date too. I wrote a ebook on date, rate, checkmate. And in that ebook, I tell women, you have got to date as many men as you need to date. But remember this, the amount of people that enter into your aura, your energy field, you got all that chaos and confusion going on just by going out on dates with folks. Because we operate on an energy level that we don't know nothing about it. You know how sometimes you can walk in a room and you can feel the energy is negative and it's like, no, I don't think I want to be here. That's energy. And that energy will keep you. I'm about to hang that up. That energy will keep you in a place longer than you want to be here. Be there. Last but not least, we're talking about constipation. Stuck in the past. Stuck in the past about some things that had happened to me in past relationships. And you bringing that to this relationship. Same person shows up, different skirt, different shirt. Same issues will show up. Last but not least, before we bring Naima back on, sometimes stinginess. I've been taught to squeeze juice out of a penny because that's what my granny did. That's what I saw my grandmama doing. So I picked up that same habit. My grandmama was blind and she could give you $1 or $5, a $10 or a $20, and she could tell you which denomination that dollar was. And that's where I learned my stinginess from. So we've been through the problem was constipation. The probable cause was refusing to release old ideas, stuck in the past, and sometimes stinginess. The new thought pattern to develop is, as I release the past, the new and fresh and vital enter. I allow life to flow through me. Say it with me. As I release the past, the new and fresh and vital enter. I allow life to flow through me. Say that 3 times. Can you do that? Let's do it one more time. As I release the past, because we all stuck in the past somewhere. Good relationship, good food, good job, good car, good vacation, good something from the past. As I release the past, the new and the fresh and vital enter. I allow life to flow through me. And I'm allowing life to flow through me. I don't like everything that happens, but it happens. But I'm learning to allow life to flow through through me. Ooh, it's 1:35. Lord have mercy. I missed my last commercial break. But I just had to share that with you. Would you please tweet somebody or text somebody and let them know that this last half an hour is live on the Female Solution? Ooh, when I closed it down. Oh, well, I'll bring Naima in. And there's Naima. She's in the car headed to the funeral, and I'll be dashing out the door shortly.
Yes.
Missed the last commercial, so
Are you able to hear me okay?
I hear you fine, but I
Great.
missed the last commercial. So what do I do?
Did you have the switchboard up?
I just closed it out.
Okay. I think I may have. Can't do it while I'm driving.
No, you can't do that while you are driving. I was looking for. Okay, I'll pull up this
Tax
promo
are higher than ever.
from Dr. Willie Wilson because this is so important because we need to know we are being bamboozled because when we go to vote and there's nothing and there's no voting place there and you wonder why you look out your window and you see what you see because you didn't get a chance to go and vote. So here we go.
Every day, thousands of our residents leave Chicago to shop in Indiana. Jobs are being lost and businesses are relocated. Let's find a way to lower our taxes to encourage residents to continue living and shopping in our city. Let's rebuild. Let's restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of the city of Chicago, and I will work hard to find solutions that matter. I'm Dr. Will Wilson, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Willie
Our
Wilson.
kids are the future and should not be left behind. One person should not decide what is the best for our 77 communities. Politicians must work together for our kids' best interests. They deserve a safe education with resources that meet every student need. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
You can't
Paid
vote
for by Willie
if
Wilson
you
for
don't know where
mayor.
your polling place is.
Crime in Chicago continues to increase. Communities and politicians must come together to make a change. No one person can solve these problems by themselves, but I believe together we can make progress. Let's provide job training, economic growth, and invest into our 77 communities. Let's rebuild and restore Chicago. Vote for me for mayor of Chicago. I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I approve this message.
And they are
Paid for
also
by Willie Wilson
in
for
need
mayor.
of volunteers. So you can't blame your neighborhood on anybody if you haven't gotten involved. And this is the promo for the Higher Learning Network TV show, which is Tuesday 6, Wednesdays at 1, on Higher Learning TV show.
Queen Latifah, and you're watching CTV on the Higher Learning Network. Yeah.
Well, all right now, get your head right. That's what it's all about here.
By
on
Willie
the
Wilson
Female
for mayor.
Solution. Thank you so much for joining us back here for this last wonderful half hour together. Naima, I just shared with them the information from Louise Hayes, Heal Your Life. And I was talking about diabetes and how that came to be. And then Spirit gave me constipation because I know we don't eat enough vegetables. So, Tony laughing. I talked about constipation. And we talked about the problem, the probable cause, and the new thought pattern. So, the new thought pattern is what we want to develop here on the Female Solution because it is the new thought pattern that will take us in a place of healing. And that's what the Cheat Retreat is all about. It's a place of healing. We want to help you heal from the scars, but we don't know what those scars are unless you share them with us in the chat. And you don't have to worry about your name. I won't post your name because I know you can see it. I'll just repeat whatever you said. If you're posting and you don't want anybody to know who you are and that you're listening to the Cheat Retreat, just type it in the comments, and I won't show it. I'll just read it. So that I was sharing that, Naima, and I think it's important that we not keep our issues to ourselves. And we're real good at putting our business all out there in the street, as the children say. but not in a productive way. Put it on paper just to get it out of you. Put it on paper. Have that magical conversation with yourself. Have that magical conversation on paper. See, because when you get quiet and listen, things will come to you. That's why I love. Oh, and go, please go sit near a tree, sit in the grass, take your shoes off, and just sit there and breathe. Tony laughing at, but he know I do it all the time. Because that's what I love about being almost 70. Because I don't care what people say. I just don't. Call me crazy. I don't. As long as you call me for dinner, and I'll be there at the dinner table on time. Okay. And I hope you got some greens and some black eyed peas and some sweet potatoes and some cornbread. Okay. All right.
Thing that people don't realize when we hold on to
Oh, you
cancer
breaking.
is what develops as Louise Hay talks about. You know, when you hold in anger,
Now, Ema is breaking.
all of the will
All
end
night.
up manifesting in your body. Cancer is the energy of unforgiveness. So if you
Cancer
think
is the energy of unforgiveness. Did you all hear that? She's breaking up, so I'm repeating what she said.
yeah,
Cancer is the energy of unforgiveness. So you're walking around holding that grudge against somebody who did you wrong, who cheated on you, who lied to you, who stole from you, who took your job, who took your man, who took your woman, causes cancer.
yes, hurting. So
Cancer. I
let
need
it
to write this down. Cancer is the result. Say that again, Naima.
energy of unforgiveness.
Energy of unforgiveness. Ooh, I gotta write that. I gotta share that with y'all.
I have met people who have actually overcome cancer. The cancer went into remission once they let go of the anger at an ex-spouse.
Uh-huh.
And literally, their body literally healed. So if you think
Wow.
about it, if forgiving someone can heal you of what would be a fatal illness, then doesn't it make sense to let go of anger? What
Yeah.
it is, cancer is like cancer cells are like your body's eating itself alive.
Your
So
body is eating itself alive. Right.
so it's like your body is manifesting in a literal sense. You know, somebody says, "What's eating you?" Well,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's this is eating you up.
Yep.
This man left me for this other woman, and it's eating me up. Well, your body will manifest that in a literal sense with
Yep.
cancer, and the cells in your body will start malfunctioning, and next thing you know, it's eating you up, and that's exactly what's happening because you're so angry and so consumed with anger that your body begins to manufacture cells that are literally eating you alive, and you
Mhm.
end up dying because you can't let go of anger and you can't forgive, you can't let go. And a lot of times when we think we're hurting somebody else because we're holding all this anger, they don't feel a thing. They've gone on with their lives. And we're sitting here stewing and can't sleep at night and can't eat and all of that. And they're just fine. The person we're angry at, they're living life and enjoying life, and we're the ones that's sitting around miserable. So who are we hurting? And I think a lot of times when we try to hold on to a relationship that's hurting us, we got to think, why am I holding on to someone who isn't treating me the way I wish to be treated, who isn't putting me first as the one in their life, and I'm putting them first, and somebody's rather treat me like they'd rather be with someone else. Why am I allowing that? Why am I doing that to myself? Why don't I just love myself enough to attract someone who also loves me? And therefore, I will feel better about myself as opposed to being angry because someone isn't treating me the way I wish to be treated.
And the very first thing that we can do is learn to forgive ourselves for
Yes,
ever thinking the way that we think, for doing the things that we do. Why is that important? Because if you can't forgive yourself, you damn sure can't forgive nobody else.
right. And sometimes we beat ourselves up. Well, why did I end up with somebody like that anyway? What's wrong with me? I must be stupid. And we have to stop thinking that other people's behavior behavior is our fault or our responsibility. People act according to their own level of consciousness, their own way of thinking, their own programming, and it has nothing to do with who we are or our self-worth. We have to stop judging ourselves based on other people's behavior. And people behave the way they're going to behave. It has nothing to do with, am I smart enough? Am I pretty enough? Am I cute enough? You are who you are. You are God. You are perfect. They are.
And she is breaking up. We can't hear her. We can't hear you, Naima.
Sorry.
We can't hear you. Can you repeat that, please? Say it again. Repeat it.
And so I said that another person's behavior does not define your worth. And so you have to value yourself regardless of what another person does and who another person is attracted to. If someone is attracted to someone else, that doesn't mean you're not enough, not good enough, not smart enough, not pretty enough, not sexy enough. It doesn't have anything to do with you. It's their choice that they made, which is based on how
I love that. Another
they
person's
think and how
behavior.
they feel.
Can you repeat that again so I can type that in, name?
Worth.
Another person's behavior does not. What did you say?
Nothing to do with your self-worth.
Has nothing to do.
Another person's behavior does not define your worth.
Your self-worth, yeah, because we look at that as, what's wrong with me? Why did he cheat on me? It wasn't about you, baby. These were his issues or her issues or elemental P issues. There wasn't about you.
Yes.
And you taking this personal. This ain't about you. It's about them. So you got to do what you need to do to take care of you.
It's about them. Right. Things that make them feel better. And a lot of times relationships for some people is just like a drug, you know.
Yeah. I gotta be in one.
Addiction, just like
spend no time to myself. Nope, I gotta find me a man. Gotta find me a woman.
Yeah. And they just want to feel like something, but it doesn't matter who that person is. It's just I just need to have somebody so I can get this fixed. It's different than developing a relationship with somebody that you are, planning some things together, and somebody you just want that temporary physical thrill to get your endorphins going in your body, but it doesn't really matter who they are, because you got to look at, some people are just like men are womanizers, some women are manizers, and sometimes people end up on board. So if that's the kind of person that you have attracted, then you have to look at, what signals did I send that I didn't value myself enough, where I let someone who doesn't value people select me as just another person that they didn't value. Because you do have to look at how are people treating other people in their life. And sometimes women make the mistake of thinking, well, he might treat other people badly, but he's not going to do that to me. Well, this is how he treats people. Yeah, he is. Because that's how he treats people. And it's got nothing to do with you. Some people don't have a healthy respect for other people. And so you're going to be another person that they don't have healthy respect for. So you have to also look at that as well. What signals are people giving you when it comes to how they treat the people in their lives? If they treated everybody else bad, if they cheated on the last person to get to you, that should tell you something. Okay, he cheated on her with me. What makes me think he's going to be faithful to me when he wasn't faithful to her?
And it's not that you're not that special, because you are special. They just don't know it.
They just don't know it. And that's,
you got to know it.
You have to know that you're special. You have to know that a person has integrity in their relationships, regardless
And most of us don't have integrity in our relationships because we hit
Because
that
of who they
before
are.
we
They
even
has a lot to do with what ultimately ends up happening in that relationship. Is it somebody that has a pattern of valuing people, or is it someone who has a pattern of lying? Just like the guy that I knew in college, okay, he cheated on his wife. So I would have been stupid to say, well, let me see if I can take it from his wife, because he's already shown he didn't value the honesty that was supposed to be in their relationship with me, going to another state to get a.
I am typing this out, what Naima said, because I just think this is so powerful. Nothing to do with your. Most of us don't have good self esteem. I'm by myself now, okay? I love this. She said, another person's behavior has nothing to do with your self worth. If he, she, it cheated on you, if they broke the bond that you all had together, if they broke that bond, chances are that they broke the bond with themselves first. How's that possible? Because they weren't true to themselves. So how could they be true to you? Mm. They weren't true to themselves by starting another relationship specifically with you or a loved one. And they couldn't commit 100% because they haven't been taught to commit 100%. You know, it's a dating game, baby. This is who we are. This is what we do. You know, we run through women. And some women, yeah, y'all run through men too, because I hear the conversations with Dr. Khalid Scott, our mental health practitioner, who will be with us September 12th, this Monday. Oh my God. So we're going to continue this conversation about infidelity to self. Because see, that hurts. You stepping on some toes now. You mean I got to be good to me? You mean that means I got to say yes? I mean, I got to say no when I want to say yes. So that means if I got to be alone on Saturday night with Ben and Jerry's or a box of popcorn instead of being at the club having a good time, kicking at, doing what we do, I ain't saying don't do it. I'm saying what works for you at any point in given time, because it may not be your time to be alone. You don't feel like being at one with self because it's painful. And who wants to endure pain? But you gotta. You heard the exercise. What was the motto? No pain, no gain. You got to go through. I'm not gonna call it pain. I'll say you got to go through a little inconvenience, not feeling that well. You've got to go through. You've got to learn what makes you happy, what gives you strength. And see, this pen and paper can give you strength. You're not gonna get that through a computer. You're gonna get another set of vibrations coming through a computer or a telephone. Don't care if it's Apple or Android. There is an energy. That's why I tell you to go to the park and hug a tree, or just take your shoes off. You're worried about people looking at you. I don't care. I'll walk up and hug a tree and don't care who's looking. I turn around, kiss my plants. Where y'all at? Come on, baby. Give mama some love, because this is what kept me during COVID. Plants, honey, yes. You need some nature in your life. How many of us have big, beautiful homes, apartments, all the nice artwork and everything, and ain't no nature in it nowhere? No rocks, no birds. You need some nature. You need to be enveloped in nature, and it's hard to be in nature in the city of Chicago because it's always cold here. So you have to go outside and get some heat when you can. But you got to spend some time with yourself, baby, because that's when the magic happens. You be like, oh, okay. I had an issue with a problem, and I got quiet, and I started writing, and I just sat there and do some deep breathing. How many of you all do deep breathing? Because we haven't been taught that way. I'm looking at this video last night, and he wasn't a doctor. He was I forgot what he was, but he was talking about breathing, and the breathing exercises that I do on Monday morning mindfulness. It lets me know I'm doing it the right way, because I'm not a doctor. I don't have any kind of degree in medical or mental, emotional, psychological. I have none of that, but I have the wisdom that was given to me by the ancestors. And I give thanks for the ancestors for that wisdom because, baby, you can't get this out of a book. Mm, some parts of it you can, but you really got to get quiet and listen. Because, see, I talked to Granny, I talked to my mama, I talked to Tony's mama when he's sitting up there looking stupid. I talk to all of the ancestors because they guide me and they guard me and they direct me. Yeah, I talked to Miss Annie, his mama, Mrs. Annie Slaughter. I talked to my mama, Miss Katie Pitchford, Miss Katie Robinson. I talked to my grandmama, my grandma. I talked to all of them because things happen all the time. And you wonder how you still here. Been in a couple of accidents. How come I'm not maimed up? Because there's some work that I'm supposed to be doing. Let me tell you, yesterday, it's 1:56. I'm going to be very, very brief with you. I'm working on a project on how to help you release the patterns because I've learned that the patterns is what has kept me where I am for so long. And those patterns are thought patterns that are embedded in us since childhood. My childhood trauma of being going down south, not having enough, not feeling love, not being wanted, needed. All of that trauma still exists. But because I have the tools necessary, I have the book, which is available on audio, I have written books. The books, the information that comes to me when I'm quiet. Okay, so let me tell you my current challenge. I'm working on a course that teach people how to release the need. I no longer need to be in control because I know that there's a power greater than myself that can control it. But I still work on releasing the need that created the pattern of obesity, of diabetics, of being needing to control the conversation or the or control the behavior of another individual. I'm learning to let that go, and you can learn to let that go. That's why I was on the phone 2 hours yesterday with a cable company that gave me more than I wanted, and I asked for it to be removed, and my bill should be a minimum, and it's a couple of $100. And I was like, can I just pay this and get off the phone? They were like, yeah, you can pay it, but you'll still have a balance. I said, no, no, no. So I went through not one, not two, not three, not four, but five different reps. And if you go to my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com, I'm going to pull it up and let you see it because I know you don't believe it. I wrote about it because I was so upset that I allowed somebody to come into my space and throw me off. And now that I look back at it, I now get it why that was necessary. Why was that necessary? Say, okay, so let me tell you. Tony don't know it either, but he about to find out. So this is my blog, zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. And I was so incensed, I had to go on here and talk about it. Seniors, beware of Comcast Xfinity abuse. Do you see here where it says 1 hour, 51 minutes, and 47 seconds? That's how long I was on the phone trying to straighten out this mess. So I just had to share that with you. But there's lots of other information there. So please go to the blog and check it out. There's lots of resources that are available for the community and for you. And my email is back. So be sure and check that out. Okay. Oh, I didn't finish. The reason why I was on that phone for Naeem, I just shared I was on for 2 hours yesterday with Comcast trying to get my account straightened out. It dawned on me because my TV in the bedroom won't come on now. And you know why? Because I'm supposed to be working on this course. I'm not supposed to fall asleep. I used to fall asleep with my computer on doing work that had me excited. And I've been doing it in bits and pieces, and I know I need to be doing it in full force. So I give thanks. I ain't gonna tell Comcast that, but
Absolutely. Well, we're
that's my
now
biggest
at
regret.
the funeral procession, and
I thought it starts at 2. Is it 2?
it's 2 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well, it's time
Yes,
for me to get out of here.
we're at
Okay.
Dodie Nash, and we are, and
Shoot.
so You can join us on live on my Facebook page, Naima Latif, and also I believe we're on StreamYard and the Female Solution Facebook page as well. So we'll see you all soon.
We will see you soon, and I want to remind everybody, go to higherlearningnetwork.org. Help the homeless. Your donation supports the Homeless Project, and these are t-shirts that are available to you. You get a 50% off coupon if you email me at zeldaspeaks.wordpress.com. And last but not least, I want you to see our Instagram page, which is another page where we help the homeless on getting food. They need tents. They really need tents. And that's why I do what I do. And that's our Instagram page. And I want to share that with you. These are some of the videos from the work that we do and taking them food and things of that nature. So I just ask that you have it in your heart. No donation is too big or too small, but help the homeless. That's our Instagram page, HLN. Please check out our Instagram page, hln.homeless.project. I want to thank you so very much for taking the time out of your very busy schedule today and for listening. And please share this with somebody, because somebody is going through it. You are not the only one, because if you're going through it, just know that somebody else is going through it as well. And last but not least, I'm going to share our closing. I want to thank you for being the brave, the courageous, the phenomenal person that you are, and knowing that whatever you're going through, it didn't come to stay, baby. It's just here for a few minutes, and you're going to be so much better afterwards. You just got to trust me on that one, and trust yourself and love yourself. Now go do some deep breathing exercises and go to my YouTube page, Zelda Speaks or Zelda Speaks Mindfulness, and you'll see some breathing exercises there. But right now, I want to leave you with the closing from the Female Solution. Stay on purpose, stay empowered, and stay tuned to Monday Morning Mindfulness. And which part, it looks like this is going to be a part 4, because this was, no, part 5, because this was part 4 right here. Khalid Scott, veteran mental health practitioner, he's going to bring it home. Deborah Smith says, yay, thank you, Deborah. Yay. Thank all of you for watching and listening. And please share this video. Somebody else needs help too. And they will get help because of you. On my way to the funeral, y'all. Thank you, Minister Cynthia Williams. I will be late, but I'll be there.
The Female Solution Global Radio TV Show invites you to an invigorating conversation with our team of hosts Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Central Time. Start your week with Monday Morning Mindfulness with Zelda Speaks. Tuesdays, Self-Care with Jody Susan. Wednesdays, Repairing Broken Families with Naima Latif and co-host Kareem Hamid. Thursdays, Soulful Solutions with Dr. Debbie Green. And Fridays, Health and Wellbeing with Beata. Saturdays, tune in 12 noon to 2 p.m. Central Time. First Saturday, Success Strategies with Jana. Second Saturday, Wendy Williams Esquire on relationships. Third Saturday, Move Around with Deborah. And fourth Saturday, Wisdom with Mama D. Join us Sundays, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Central Time for Soul Purpose Healing with Beata. Call in and comment 515-605-9325. Press 1 to speak to the host and be a part of the solution.